So when the news bombshell broke that Minnesota Fighting Vikings free agent star nose tackle Michael Pierce will be opting out of the 2020 NFL season due to coronavirus concerns, the first question on the lips of Vikings fans, well, one, hope he's okay. Obviously, he has asthma. We understand he's going to be at high risk, so completely do get why he opted out of the season. Question number two, what about the salary cap? As the Vikings constantly pressed up against the salary cap since signing Kirk Jerome Cousins to that massive first deal and then second deal. So the question is, what about the cap? Well, it obviously sucks losing a player in his prime, a caliber of Michael Pierce, as well as at a key position as nose tackle in the Zimmer Hellfire defense. But obviously, do what's best for him, and you can't really fault that. But also, he did the Vikings a favor in terms of the salary cap in 2021 as well as next year 2020. I screwed that up. 2020 as well as next year 2021. Nailed it. So he actually did the Vikings a favor here. So let's recap the basics. So Pierce signed a 3-year, $27 million deal, $18 million guaranteed, and a $6 million signing bonus this offseason. Now, by opting out of the season, he takes his $350,000 stipend, being a high-risk opt-out, as well as his entire contract tolls. So instead of being signed from 2020 to 2022, he's now inked up 2021 to 2023. So to recap, signing bonuses are paid up front, as well as the cap charges are dispersed prorated over the length of the contract. So $6 million signing bonus for Pierce, 3-year deal. That's beep, bop, 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 boop. $2 million dead per year against the salary cap. Now, players who opt out, the only dead cap charge for their teams are what has already been paid out and what is due. So the $2 million signing bonus, which has already been paid out, fully $6 million. The $2 million charge is the only hit that the Vikings will take this year on the 2020 salary cap, with Pierce opting out. Now, there's been some talk that maybe the $350K stipend will count against the cap as well, but that's it's whatever. So as of right now, pending on that decision, and if that $350 will count, the only cap charge for Pierce is going to be $2 million. So now he's due to count $5 million against the cap in 2020. So the Vikings do save $3 million in cap, or $2.65 million, depending on what happens. Either way, Vikings save money. Over the cap estimates, the Vikings now have $16.093 million in cap space, which is nice, as well as, so we mentioned that he helps out in 2021. So as we said, that $5 million cap charge this year was going to balloon up to $10.5 million next year. It's one of those Rob Brzezinski specials, make it work this year, blah, 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 blah. But of course, they didn't foresee the global meltdown with COVID and the potential reduction in the 2021 salary cap. But now, Pierce only counts $2 million against the cap this year, as well as that $5 million cap that was supposed to be this year kicks to 2021, and that supposed 2021 cap hit of $10.5 million kicks to 2022. So the Vikings get a little bit of short-term relief. They kick the can down the road a little bit, and this is big, like we said, because the 2021 salary cap could be flat or even reduced. So saving $5.5 million on a cap that's going to be up in the air for next year, I mean, that's massive. That's a nice little get for the Vikings, as well as the Vikings currently have $183.789 million in cap liabilities for 2021 to begin with. So, I mean, if that cap reduces to 175 or even stays flat at 198, Vikings got problems. So of course, that does count. Riley Reef, Shamar Stephen, Kyle Rudolph is all in there. So obviously, with Pierce, it does suck to lose a player of his caliber in his prime, but like we said, being in a high-risk category, high-risk opt-out does make the most sense for him, and that's extremely important, and we respect and salute that decision, right? I mean, a lot of players wouldn't have made it, but also short term, it does help the Vikings in salary cap, and also the fact that he's now under contract through age 31 as opposed to age 30. I mean, it could save the Vikings some awkwardness where, say that he's still at the tail end of his prime at 30, or even just still in the thick of his prime, 30 or 31. At 30, if you're talking about an extension, a potential multi-year extension, maybe you do hook on to the final years of when he's just slightly out of his prime, a la what happened with Linval Joseph. But you can reassess better at age 31. If Pierce is still going to be that dude for a couple years, or if he's used up by the time he's 31. So, frankly, it could save the Vikings from giving Pierce an additional contract, as well as it does give them some short-term cap relief. So, Again, even though it sucks losing him financially, actually helps. Does. All right, but your thoughts, Michael Pierce's impact on the salary cap, let us know in the comment section below. You know what to do. Skull, production value.